So today is Wednesday, November 20th. Um, as you can see, I'm in my bed. And I was just reflecting. I'm always reflecting. But I was having a deep, deep, deep reflection about my love life, my non existent love life. Um, and I really came to the conclusion that, I feel like marriage and relationships just aren't for everyone, you know? And just thinking about past relationships, my love life in general, throughout my whole life, um, it's always been the area in my life that I struggle with the most is maintaining a relationship. Um, and that's why I really feel like being in a relationship and, marriage just really isn't for me, you know? And I really, honestly, truly believe that it's not for everyone, you know? Um, I know some people, Muslim and non Muslim, black and white, male and female, that have been single for 2 to 3 decades, 20, 30 years, you know. And and I hate to sound so negative because, people will tell you where there's somebody for everybody. You'll meet that special person one day and da 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 da. We all want to believe that, that there's somebody for everybody. And I used to believe that there's somebody for everybody. Um I'm getting older, approaching 40, and at my age, like, I just really, really have had so much bad luck when it comes to love and relationships that I really, really feel like, just opting out of love. Like, I really feel like I'm going to end up just being single for the rest of my life. And that's just what it is going to have to be for me, Um, because I just feel like a relationship just isn't for me, you know? First of all, there's so many different factors into getting into a relationship, maintaining a relationship, meeting the right person, etc., etc., etc. It's even more difficult when you're a Muslim in America. Because we know America is not a Muslim country. So most of the people in this country are not Muslim. And yes, we're, as women, Muslim women, we're supposed to only be with a Muslim man. Um, so that goes into the question of, how do I meet a Muslim man in America? Um, Especially when I don't go to the mosque. I'm gonna be honest, I don't. Um, I work a lot and I don't really go to the mosque. Women are not required to go to the mosque. Um, so I'm a workaholic, and everyone knows that about me, and I've been that way my whole life. Like, seriously, all I do is go to work and come home. Outside of work, when I'm not at work or home, I'm running errands. I may be in the library, little places, Walmart, Target, grocery shopping, Hobby Lobby, those kind of places. So, if you don't catch me at one of those places, like at work or out and about running errands, grocery shopping, Hobby Lobby, whatever, then you really won't catch me out because I don't go to bars and clubs and I don't go partying. I don't, you know? Most Muslim women don't. We don't drink, we don't party, we don't club. So you're not gonna catch me in a club. Um, I don't do online dating because I think it's cheesy and corny. I'm into more meeting people organically. I've never been into online dating really. So that really limits my access to being visible to a Muslim man. Um, I feel like the attraction between me and a person is never mutual. It's either, I like them, I'm attracted to them, but they're not attracted to me. Or they're attracted to me and I'm not attracted to them. And people will say, well, it's not all about looks, Jehan. And I beg to differ because it's like, no, it's not all about looks. But then again, yes, it is because you want to be with someone that you're attracted to. People like who they like. Some guys might feel like I'm not their visual representation of their dream woman. People like who they like. And it's like all the guys that try to get with me, it's never the cute, fine, sexy guys, the actors in Hollywood, the tall, slim, attractive men. Oh no, because all of those men are already married or in a relationship or gay. And I'm just being real. It's the 55, 65-year-old men with the beer guts, big belly, out of shape, you know, just moles all over their body, bald, going bald, just unattractive men that have the audacity and the gall to get with me. Like, those are the guys that ask me for my phone number. And I'm so serious. Like, true story. About 2, 3 years ago, this is when I was doing background acting. I was sitting in Burger King. And I was sitting in Burger King, on my laptop using their Wi Fi, having a little meal. And a guy comes up to me. No lie. This is a true story. It's happened in Norcross, Gwinnett County. Comes up to me. He was obviously homeless. He had all these layers of clothes on. Smelled like he hadn't bathed in years. And asked for my phone number, wanted to buy me some more food, and he had a bandage on his foot. I said, well, what happened to your foot? He said, well, that came from me sleeping outside in the woods. I got frostbite on my foot, had to have my pinky toe amputated. But I want to know if I could take you out on a date and get your number. Those are the men with all the confidence that approach me. Can you believe it? Homeless man sleeping in the woods with pinky toe amputated from frostbite. Like, those are the type of men that approach me. Like, and it's so sad. Like, I really, really have become a hopeless romantic. And, when you're used to being single, when you've been single for several years, like I have, you really do just get comfortable. Like, you just really don't want to be bothered. And that is where I'm at in my life right now. Like, I really, really believe I'll probably just end up being single for the rest of my life. And I'm okay with that. It works for me. It's been working for me for several years. And, I just had to come to that realization that everything is not for everybody. It's just not. And marriage is not for everyone. Having kids is not for everyone. Being in a relationship is not for everyone. It's really not. I have a sister. She lives here in Georgia. On my dad's side, she's way older than me. She's in her 60s. And she has been single for 30 plus years. And she said, Jehan, this is what works for me. Being in my house by myself with my peace. It works for her. Just like it works for me. And it's something that I really had to come to the realization over the past week, because something happened. I'm not gonna say I was heartbroken, because I wasn't, but it was kind of like it really, really nailed the coffin, the nail in the coffin for me when it comes to relationships and love and all that. It was like, to me, it was just like a sign, like, okay, Jehan, this is your sign. Just give up on love. Like, don't even go looking. Don't even go expecting your dream gotta come, because he's probably not. And I hate to sound so negative, but it's like I don't even feel, it's not even safe for me to even like a person. Like, even when I try liking a person, even that doesn't go well for me, because the guy that I like is always either married or already in a relationship. And if you're married or in a relationship, of course, I don't want you. I'm not out here trying to steal nobody's man. If you're married, in a relationship, cool. I don't want you. Or, they just don't want to be in a relationship. Some people just don't want to be in a relationship. And like I said, when you're used to being alone, used to not having to fuss and fight with anyone, used to not having to clean up behind anyone, argue with anyone, getting accused of anything by anyone, just used to being able to live life on your own terms, you can get very, very comfortable in that space. And that's where I'm at in my life right now. It's like I've just gotten so comfortable with being alone. It doesn't bother me because I'm used to being by myself all the time. As you can see in my video diary, I'm always by myself, and I'm still always having fun by myself. Yeah, it's like everything isn't for everyone, and that's what people need to understand. Let people live their life by their own accord. And I talked about this in the first video diary. Like with the uterus police, every woman doesn't want to be a mother. Believe it or not, everybody doesn't want to be married. Everybody doesn't want to be in a relationship. Some people just really, truly want to be single and want to live their life alone. And I feel like God put some people in the world to be by themselves. Like, I know several people, older people, way older than me, twice my age. They're in their, well, not twice my age, they're in their 60s, some in their 70s. Been single 20 plus years. Never been married, never had children. Just single. And there's nothing wrong with that. We have to do what works for us. If that's what works for you, cool. It's fine. It's just like one of my mom's closest friends. Rest in peace. I'm not mentioning her name. But she was like my godmom. I known her since I was 3 years old. That woman, and yes, she was a Muslim woman. That woman had been single from the time I was 3 years old up until the day she died, 2018. Muslim woman. Now you do the math on that. From the time I was 3 years old, 1988, to the day she died in 2018. That's 30 years. Never seen a man in her house. She never seen a man with her. She just lived her life single Muslim woman. And she was unbothered and stress free. That's how she chose to live her life. Muslims can be hopeless romantics too, you know. We're not immune to, just the BS and the foolery of relationships, and there was nothing wrong with that. That's what worked for her. It's just like Ava DuVernay. Beautiful, successful black woman in the film industry. She's early 50s. I was reading her interview. She said herself, she made a personal decision. She wanted to be single, unmarried, and not have children. And that's fine. It works for her. She can do that. There's nowhere in the book of life that say you have to be in a relationship. I don't know why people act like it's such a huge crime and sin to be single. Why are you single? Well, when's the last time you've been in a relationship? You need a boyfriend. It's like, no, you need to mind your business. Why is my relationship status any of your concern? How is me being single affecting you and your life? Back to what I was saying in the first video diary. Women don't know how to mind their business. Focus on you and your relationship. If another woman wants to be single for the rest of her life, cool, she can do that. Another successful woman in the industry. I love her down. Tracee Ellis Ross. Same age as Ava DuVernay. I think they're both 52, 51. Single. Unmarried. No children. Doesn't want to get married. And that's fine. It works for her. Just like it works for me. It works for me. I do much better in life when I'm on my own and when I'm single, believe it or not. And that's my personal life. I'm talking about me. This is my video diary. Okay? This doesn't apply to you because you're not me and I'm not you. When I get into a relationship, baby, I don't know why. It's like my life goes to hell in a freaking handbasket. And I am not freaking lying. It never fails. Being single is what works for me, I wanted to believe at one point in time, I'll find that perfect guy and we'll have this perfect life and have kids and, we'll live happily ever after. It doesn't work like that for everybody. And believe it or not, some people just don't want that. Men and women, black and white, Muslim and non-Muslim. Some people really just want to be left the heck alone. And that's fine. Call me a hopeless romantic. Call me negative. It's fine. God didn't create all of us the same. Some of us were really meant to live our lives alone. Not in a relationship. Not married. All of us weren't meant to be parents. That's not everybody's purpose, to be a parent. I don't think that's my purpose at all, to be a parent. I don't think that was written in my book for me to be a mother. I just don't. Um, you know, and I love children, and that's what's so cool about being a writer, because in my series, I have the perfect marriage and the perfect daughter, so perfect on screen husband and perfect on screen daughter. So I get to be a wife and a mother in my series. Um, but yeah, I was just reflecting and I was like, relationships never work out for me. And I think the reason why they don't work out is because they're not for me. It's just not for me. And as long as you keep trying to make something for you that's not really for you, you will keep being frustrated and unhappy and miserable because you're trying to make something work for you that God didn't intend to be for you. It's not for everyone. Everyone can't fit a size 7 shoe. Everyone can't fit a size 10 shoe. Everyone was not meant to be a parent. Everyone is not meant to be in a marriage, in a relationship. I know people that have been single for 20 plus years. And they're fine, they're happy, they're content with their lives. It works for them just like it works for me. So don't go questioning people. Because people love to question me and question other people. Well, why are you still single? Well, why you been single for so long? Well, why you ain't got a man? Why you need a boyfriend? Don't do that. Don't do that to people. Speak for yourself, cuz I know how to be alone. And everybody doesn't know how to be alone. And I feel like everyone can't be alone. That's why a lot of people go out here getting in relationships just for the sake of being in a freaking relationship. People they not even attracted to, don't even really have any interest in, just because they don't want to be alone, just to fill a void. They can't be alone, can't be by themselves. They have no real true love and respect for the person they're with. That's why y'all go out here doing all this cheating and lying and sneaky linking and carrying on. Because you don't even respect and value the person you're with. You're just with them just because you can't be alone. I don't operate like that. Honey, I know how to be alone. My mom will tell you I've always been a loner. It doesn't bother me. I'm used to being alone. That's my default. That's my normal functioning space, is being by myself and being alone. It works for me. you know? And that's another thing. Stop trying to confuse single with being gay. Just because a person is single, well, are you gay? You ain't had no man in so and so many years. No, I'm not gay. I'm strictly dickly. Okay? I always have been. I love men. I don't have a gay bone anywhere in my body. I love men. Single does not equal gay. Single is single and gay is gay. If I was gay, I would be with a woman, but I'm not with a woman. I'm single. Okay? I don't care if a person been single 22 years. That doesn't mean they're gay. That just means they want to be left the frick alone. It's like y'all want to make everybody gay so bad. No. Some people have been through so much trauma and abuse in past relationships, and it's so sad and unfortunate. They don't want to be in a relationship ever again. And it's sad. But that's what happens to some people. If somebody shoots you 10 times and you survive and live to tell about it, is wheelchair bound for the rest of your life from a spinal cord injury, would you want to entertain another relationship with somebody after that happened from a previous relationship? Probably not. I know that happened to a woman. You think she want to entertain another relationship with somebody after her ex shot her 10 times and paralyzed her from the waist down? Won't ever walk again? I seriously doubt it. We're not all meant to live the same life. Everything isn't for everybody. And that's fine. School isn't for everybody. College isn't for everybody. You know how many successful people there are in the world? Multi-millionaires? Never went to college? Never graduated high school? Some of them ain't even make it past the daggone 6th grade. And they still became successful in life. School was not for them. They had to focus on what was for them, and that's how they became successful. My granddad couldn't read and write. The only thing he could spell was his name. It's the only thing he knew how to spell, and he could barely freaking spell that. School wasn't for him. Reading and writing wasn't for him. You know? Everything isn't for everybody. We have to tailor and customize our lives to our own likening for how it works for us. Said it in the first video diary. Nobody's life is going to mirror your life. Stop trying to make it seem like it's such a big crime and sin to be single. It's not. And I'm going to go ahead and address this now, because I already know the Muslim community is going to try to hang me and come attacking me about this whole video diary entry. About me choosing to be single and remaining single. You know, I already know. Well, you know, sister, being married is half of your deen. You're supposed to be married. Da, 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 da. I know being married is half of my deen, okay? You're not schooling me, and you're not teaching me anything I don't already know about Islam and about the deen, okay? Both of my parents are Muslim. I know Islam. Both of my parents were Muslim for 10 whole years before I was even born. So I know this religion, and I know the deen. And I know some people may think that I'm a know-it-all and I think I know everything, which is not true, because I know for a fact that I don't know everything. But I know Islam. That's one thing that I do know. I've been a Muslim my whole life. I may not have always been a practicing Muslim, wearing hijab, doing what I was supposed to do, but I was born a Muslim. So you're not schooling me and teaching me anything about this religion that I don't already know. Because if I don't know anything else, I know Islam. I know it left to right, front to back, and down the middle. And it's true. Being married is half of your deen. But it's still not a sin to not be married. And I know several Muslim women that aren't married. Some of them don't want to be married. Single. And that's how they choose to live their life. It works for them. You know? Halima Aden, the model, she's not married. Ibtihaj Muhammad's not married. And they're Muslim women just like myself. And they're single, unmarried, without children, just like myself. And there's nowhere saying you're going to hellfire for not being married, or that it is a sin or it is haram to not be married. I know several Muslim women that are unmarried and single. We have to do what works for us. And I'm tired of feeling so frustrated. It's like, okay. And the guys that try to approach me, it's the 55, 65, 70-year-old men old enough to be my daggone daddy, grandpappy. You know, on an oxygen machine. I literally had a man with the oxygen tank ask me for my phone number. Or with one leg, you know, hunchback, 70 years old, bad back and kneecaps. Like, just the most unattractive man you could ever think of. It's always the fat, ugly men that are attracted to me. And maybe, I know that sounds shallow to a lot of people. Well, the ugly fat guy might be the one that loves you. Everyone is attracted to what they're attracted to, and everybody likes what they like. And no, I'm not attracted to you ugly fat niggas. I'm not. Okay? And I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. This is my video diary. You can close the video. You can leave the channel at any time. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't want you ugly fat niggas anywhere near my vagina. I don't. I'm sorry. I mean, can I keep it a buck? I just don't. I told you in the first video diary. My love language is physical touch. I don't want you ugly fat niggas touching my body. I'm sorry. I just don't. You know? And those are the guys that are always attracted to me, like the unattractive men that I'm not attracted to. It's never the fine Hollywood actors, directors, the fine handsome men with the nice bodies, and oh no, all of them are married or gay, you know. So, or they don't have a job, you know, or they addicted to cocaine and got a limp penis, you know, or they're an alcoholic, or that is. I'm exhausted. I am completely exhausted. And I've come to the conclusion, being in a relationship just isn't for me. They never work out for me. It never works out for me at all. Because it's not for me. I'm trying to make something for me that's not for me. And that's fine. I accept that I'll be single. Like, I'm seriously good off being the single celibate, like, rich auntie with no kids. Cool, I accept that. I'll be that. Boom, I'll play that role. That's dope. I'll be that auntie. You know, I mean, everybody has that one auntie in their family or that one uncle that is just single all the time. Like, that's me. It's cool.